This is Cheryl with Sew Glue and Cheryl 2. We're going to give it a minute and see if we have anybody join us today. I am going to go ahead and get myself shared out and pulled up so I can see comments today. Alrighty. And I'm going to share myself out to groups here. And if you're coming in and you see the live, the red live at the top, it means you've caught me live. And if you haven't, if you're not seeing the red live, just hashtag replay and let me know that you've watched. Just getting myself shared out and getting my comments up so that I can operate. And we'll give it a couple minutes to see if anybody comes in. Say hi if you do come in. I know it's just after New Year's and everybody they're finishing up their New Year's things, and I just thought I'd go on. My son graduated on December 20th. Let's see. December 20th. I had to look at the commencement card. And so I graduated from college. And so I thought that I would work on a shadow box for him real quick. Get that off of my craft desk so that it's free to be able to do some new things. And I just thought we might craft and chat. And, okay. So, and if you're watching, come in and say hi. I picked up this shadow box. It is an 11 by 14 shadow box. I ran to Michael's earlier today to pick up that shadow box. Hold on a second, trying to set it down so that it doesn't go flying everywhere and break the glass. But it is a studio decor shadow box. Shadow boxes are not cheap nowadays. Goodness gracious. But I picked up this shadow box, 11 by 14, and I have several items. I really don't want to tell you the price. I did get it on sale, but man, they are still expensive. I think that one was like $44, something like that, priced on the shelf. I got it for like 30% off. So it was still pretty expensive. So, I have a few things to kind of put together on, the shadow box. They had a commencement card that, had kind of the arrangement of the ceremony. After looking at things and laying things out, so I have his tassel, of course. And so we will start attaching things here in a few minutes. Here's the part that I cut up for the commencement, just trying to find ways. It's not very big. If I bought a shadow box big enough to fit everything and more, and let me tell you, I would have had to have spent like $100 on a shadow box, and it was like crazy. So if you're watching, and come in and say hi, let me know that you're here. If you aren't following, hit the follow button. I have !notify and !telegram. If you have a Telegram channel, you can get my Telegram. I will. I think that there's challenges with the link again. It's not just a link where you can click on it and it takes you to anything, but I think it's a Facebook limitation. So I think what I'll do is I'll go in and just share the Telegram name of the page and do the QR code. That way, if you want to, it'll be a little bit easier. You can check on my page. It'll be posted there. And so we're going to work on just doing a shadow box for my son today, but wanted to come on and say hey. And it's just been a little while since, with birthdays and New Year's and Christmas, the last event I was in with Craft Events by Julie, and we did Crafter's Choice. So I worked on a Crafter's Choice, and I don't even remember what I worked on at that point. It's been so many days. Wow. But anyway, so he has a sash. So this is the sash that he actually wore at graduation. This is the sash that came with his cap and gown. And so I thought I would use both of those. And then I have his hat, graduation hat. So I thought I could possibly set it. So they give you, if you haven't worked with a shadow box before, they give you, it's kind of a felt. Yeah, I think it's a felt attached to a backing. And then the box is down here. It is an 11 by 14 shadow box. And so I thought I would try to arrange it to where I could get as much of this stuff on it as possible. And we'll see what it ends up looking like. I have my hot glue gun. I may have to glue a few things to keep things in place. But it's like, because the hat is very wide, it just doesn't seem to want to. So I can't, because it's going to hang off. And it's not in a shape. It's pretty heavy, whatever they have inside the hat. So I'll have to I can maybe tack it down like that. But I know that that's going to have to go kind of at the bottom of everything else. So maybe, let's see, the battery on the glue gun. Come in and say hi and let me know that you're here. So I'm just going to tack down a little bit with some hot glue so that it stays, and then that way I can work with the other things. We're just working on a shadow box. Hi, Sue. How are you today? It's good to see you. I was just talking about the Telegram, and I know that you were struggling with the Telegram. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go and get my page, and in Telegram they'll give you a QR code. I'm going to post the QR code on my page so that way it might be a little easier. You can get the telegrams ahead of time if you didn't successfully get that URL copied. But I'm working on a shadow box for my son's graduation. And let's see, I just had the paper. Where did I set it down? But I bought the shadow box at Michael's. I don't know where I set it down. But it's an 11 by 14 shadow box. And so this is just the back of the shadow box. And I needed to kind of get this put together so that because my son's getting ready to leave tomorrow, he'll go back to the house that he stays at, because his house is his name is on the lease for still at campus. So he is going to go back to campus and live on campus and do his job hunt from there. So I thought I would send this home with him. And so what I did was I tacked with just a little bit of hot glue the hat kind of down, because I think that this is, because it's so big, it only fits so many ways. And so, and then I have this sash that came with his, so it also has a bee on it, but I think, and this is the sash that he wore at graduation. My son is a part of the media department at the university, and they had a special sash because he has received some awards for being a part of the university public television channel. And so he has received a few of those. So I kind of folded this up, trying to keep the bee, because this is the logo for the university. And then, of course, the awards. So I've kind of pinned it together so you can see kind of. So I don't know. I was trying to think of ways to lay this out. If I laid that there, I have like the commencement card. So I kind of started chopping it down a little bit to see if there was ways to fit it in. And maybe, I don't know. I'm just going to kind of play around with it and see what looks nice. And then I have his tassel, which I think, the tassel, I think I'm probably going to have to attach it in a different way. I don't know. So we're going to try laying it out a little bit here. The bead is pretty heavy. It's on his tassel. It's like it's a serious metal pendant. They didn't spare any expense on, I mean, I guess they need to, because you pay so much money for the doggone university all those years. They should be able to afford. Maybe if I lay it out like that, I don't know. So, and maybe I don't know, this tassel is just going to be, well, this is what I'm thinking so far, but the problem is you can't really tell that is his cap. Maybe, I don't know. So then I'll hold it up and see what you guys, yeah. Trying to kind of lay it like that, I'm thinking, but I don't know. It's like the hat takes up so much space. You can't help but cover up the hat. So, I don't know. I'm open to suggestions if anybody has any. And then I'm going to have to figure out this tassel. I don't know if maybe, because the tassels are kind of funny. Maybe I tuck the tassel string behind the hat. And maybe if I pin it, I don't know. But if we decide on that, then it's going to be a short video. Because I'm like, but maybe like that? I don't know. That tassel is just going to be kind of the booger, I think. Okay, so let me see here. If you're watching, oh, hi, Denise. Happy New Year. How are you? Thank you for joining me. I bought a shadow box to do my son's graduation stuff from, because he graduated from college and he's getting ready to go back to school to the house that he lives in, because his name is still on the lease. And so I'm trying to figure out how to lay out the whole thing. But this tassel is the booger. That's the problem. If I attach the tassel, or make it look, if I attach the tassel to the hat, and lay the tassel. Did you have a good New Year's, Denise? And then I haven't really been on too much. I hope you had a good Christmas. Same with you, Sue. Did you have a good New Year's? We had celebrated birthdays. So, because it was my birthday on New Year's Eve, and then my son, who just graduated, his birthday, his 23rd birthday, was on New Year's Day. And we went out to just to get, traditionally, we choose restaurants to go out to. So, I went to a Japanese steakhouse. I chose Japanese steakhouse. It's like my favorite. And he chose another restaurant that's local here. But, so, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out, maybe I'm just refolding. I think I want to keep this sash, but there's a lot of distance between the words and the tip, but I would like to keep the tip. So I have some pins here. Let me try to pin it to see if it holds it together. And maybe that will make it easier to attach. There's a couple. These are just small pins. They're not very big pins. They're the pins that came in the shadow box. But so is everybody getting back to normal? Is it the holidays over with and everybody working on getting back to... I know that there was quite a few crafting events today, which I was happy to see, because I go through crafting withdrawals. Okay. All right. So let's see if we can't... Let's do a couple things here and see if we can't decide. Oh, let me use a pin temporarily to see if this is going to work for us. I'm just going to hold it in place. I think what I'll do is I'll glue it. I am going to glue it and hold it. And so this is where, let's see. Okay, I think I'm going to put this here. I've got the hat attached to the back. It's so big, I can't really turn it very far. But because this is only 11 by 14 and the hat is pretty much like a 10 by 10. So it's like a big hat. But I think I'll put the announcement up there, which I think looks good. So let me hold that. And then I know I need to get his sash. He has two sashes. One that was just a generic sash that they give all graduates. And then my son was a part of the, ooh, that's hot, university television production team, because he was a media student. And so because he was a part of that team. They gave him a special sash because he also had received some awards for being a part of the media production team. And so I'll show that here in just a second. I want to hold this down so that it dries real quick. Hi, Julie. Thank you for coming in and watching. I'm just working on a shadow box with my son's graduation stuff. I need to get it off my craft table so that I can move on and be free to work on my stuff. But so this is what I have so far. I have his hat and then his commencement. I have 2 sashes. I'm trying to figure out the layout for. This is the sash he actually graduated with on, because he is a part of, you can see it's a university television productions for Boise State University, and these are the awards that he received for different productions that he has done. So we're quite proud of him for that. But I'm trying to, I only bought an 11 by, here it is, an 11 by 17 shadow box, or I mean 11 by 14 shadow box. And I bought it, you can't buy shadow boxes like cheap. They're so expensive nowadays. You almost have to make your own if you got the talent to do it. But it was almost $50. And so I had a 30% off. So I got it at a discount. I don't know, 30 something dollars. But it was expensive. And so I couldn't go any bigger than an 11 by 14. I think, yeah, it's an 11 by 14 size. And otherwise it'd be almost a payment I'd have to take out alone just to buy a shadow box at Michael's, crying out loud. But I was thinking somehow of attaching this, because I need to get the university logo in there. If I can attach that, because the awards then would show at the bottom. You could kind of see a little bit of the hat here. It's just super small, so I'm trying to layer things and see. And I thought about laying this. Hold on, there's a frayed. Let me cut that off. And lay this down. Let me see if I hold that and let me try temporarily attaching this. And let's see what it looks like. Sometimes you can see what it looks like a little bit better when I hold it up and show you guys. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. I'll remember that next time. Thank you. Do you guys make your shadow boxes? I know your husband made that cabinet. Okay. So this is kind of what I'm thinking. I've got the hat and the commencement card. And oops. Oh, come on. Stay there. Maybe like that. So he has 2 sashes. This is the orange sash, is the sash that the graduates would use if they didn't have, and my son ended up wearing the white one because of the awards that he had gotten with being a part of the media and the university public television channel. So let me see. I'm thinking that will look okay. It seems to. And then I just got to figure out, so if I could And I think what I'll do is I have them pinned down. Sorry, I'm trying to hold it because it wants to fall. Yeah, I know you guys make all of your stuff. I just didn't know, because you got to get glass and all of that stuff to make shadow boxes. I wasn't sure. I saw the cabinet that your husband made, and that's pretty awesome. My husband is handy too. He's got all kinds of handy skills, but time seems to be our challenge. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and tack with hot glue the white sash down. He will never need this particular sash again. If he goes on to school and continues, if he gets additional degrees, they will give him a whole new sash. This was just the undergrad sash. So, okay, I'm going to tack that down and see if I can get that to stay. And then we'll... So did everybody have a good New Year's? Ours was quiet, other than doing the birthday thing. Ours was quiet. And got to sleep in. That's awesome, because I hardly ever get an opportunity to sleep in. I'm going to tack this corner down. And yeah, I know you're not supposed to use glue in shadow boxes, but he probably won't. He'll hang this on his wall, either in his house or if he moves to his own apartment. So he lives in a house, but he rents right now, and he has 4 roommates. So as he gets to the point where he is tired of roommates and has a job, he'll probably move out and get his own apartment. But it's around here, we've had a lot of different... I don't want to be mean about it, because it's not a terrible thing. It's just hard because... So yours was quiet. You just cooked and ate, right? For Christmas, my husband did a prime ribbed, and so we've been eating on that a few days. And then because my son is at home, we cooked a pork roast in the crock pot, and so we've been eating on some of that lately. But yeah, so he lives currently at the university, and he has 4 roommates. So I think eventually he'll get to a point where he's looking for a job. He's going to go back to school, to live at school. He's not actually he needs a break, he says. I don't think he's going to go get his master's. If he does, it'll be something he'll do later, maybe as an adult. But he lives with 4 other young men. So I fully expect when he gets a job and he has enough money saved up, he'll want to find his own apartment. But it's hard just away from the university because of the fact that we have a lot of different states. People moved here. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. It's just what they're doing is they're taking up a lot of the inventory, and the cost of living has gone up. Just here in Idaho. So it's pretty expensive without having roommates. Unfortunately, we've lived here for 30 some odd years. So, we got our house long before it was a cool thing to move to Idaho. So, you know, our mortgage isn't outrageous, but I mean, a house, they said, so when we bought our house, it was expensive for us because we were just, we got married. We got married in 2000 and just bought the house in 2000. So we were in our 30s, and the house was still pretty significant investment for us. And now, it's 400% increase on houses. So our house, they said, would sell for $400,000 to $500,000. And, our house is not a big house. It's a 1,400 square foot home. So it's like crazy. And so you become kind of mortgage poor. But anyway, okay, so this is where we're at. I think I've got it tacked down enough to where it won't fall off. Okay, and then now I've just got to figure out what to do with this silly tassel, because it's kind of a stinker. I think part of it is because the B on the tassel, it's a pretty heavy metal, and try to figure out how to maybe I can tack it or something. I don't know. You guys have any suggestions? So this maybe is one option, but if I put it up, then the tassel will fall down. So if you're hanging it on the wall, if I let it go, see what happens. So I'm not sure. Or sometimes it's a little bit easier to see what it looks like when you hold it up into the camera. Let's see. See, it just is floppy. I don't know. Because, I mean, I guess I could hang it something like that. And have it. That way it would hang. Yeah. Any suggestions? No? Could go over here too. I don't know. That is, let's see. Because I could kind of hang it to where it's, there we go. I don't know. Okay, on this side, or do I go to the center? On the side or the center? You like it in the middle, Julie? Thank you. I think that's probably, oh, hold on. I need to tack that orange sash down again because it's starting to, I've got it pinned. Maybe I'll just tack it with a little bit of hot glue because it's starting to come unfolded. All right. Hold that down. And then we can see here. All right. Now, if I Yeah, I could probably tack it down there. Let me try to hold it up and... I'll have to, before I put it in the glass, I'll have to make sure that, yeah, see there goes that orange sash. That's going to be a pain in my backside. All right. Okay. Let's see. All right. Okay. Gonna glue some more on this orange sash because it's like not to stay where I want it. Doggone it. Okay. Get the tassel. Okay. I worked on the picture frames and getting all of the pictures. I had to go today to the store and have the photographs made up, or, you know, pictures made up from some of the photos. I don't think I have. I laid them all in his room. I'll have to show you guys. But I had to go get prints done, and so I worked on, before I came live, I worked on the prints, getting the photos done and everything. Okay, I'm working on, if you're new, if you just come in and say hi. I'm working on a shadow box, trying to finish the shadow box for my son because he just graduated college. And I needed to get this off of my craft desk so that I could send it with him back to school. Stitches in the sash. Well, we're not stitching anything today. We're just going to hot glue it. The hot glue, I know you're not supposed to hot glue things in a shadow box, but he is not going to use this ever again. So use the sashes, that is, or the tassel, because if he goes on in school, they're going to issue him for his master's. This is all undergrad stuff, so at least he'll have something nice to be able to hang on his wall and be proud of his accomplishment. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at. And I think I've got things tacked down. I think what I'm going to do is maybe hide the hanger for the tassel. I'll just tuck it under the sash. And then that way, because the back of it, once I put the glass on, this is the back of the shadow box. So that's where we're at. And what I'm going to do, so I'm going to move the hot glue out of the way so we can get the glass. So I got an opportunity to play Oh, thanks, Marianne. Hi, Marianne. I didn't see you come in, but thank you. Okay, so this is the shadow box. This is the actual glass, and then what you have to do is you have to be really careful. And so I have to do it facing me for just a second, and then I'll turn it around and show you guys. because I need to make sure that the tassel stays where it needs to stay. Oh. That hat is going to be my, because it's bigger than the ShadowBox. Okay. Let me see if I can, hold on, I need to get my, yep, my needle nose pliers out. There we go, to try to help me move those. Okay, let me see here. Try putting the backing into it. It's kind of a, and they got these metal things on the back. They're just so tight. And I don't have a screwdriver with me to, there we go. Okay. Get the last of these on, and then I'll turn it around and show you guys what the end result is. I don't want to tear up the frame. There we go. Okay. There we go. Not bad. Can't really tell that the hat is under there, but oh well. There was too many things that needed to go in the ShadowBox, and I didn't want to take out a house loan to buy a big enough ShadowBox. Well, that was kind of quick and painless. Let me, I've got my fingerprints all over it. I have some Windex here. And, was it yeah, it was last Saturday. I did some crafting with my girlfriend. And so I thought, and actually what I've been doing is trying to work on those, scrapbook pages that I told you guys about, that I've been trying to get done because he's now graduated college, so I need to get his grade school stuff. There we go. Now you can't see the fingerprints. Whoop, whoop. Okay, that's off my, whoop, whoop. Super happy about that. Get that off my craft table, and I'll grab the, I'll show you guys the pages that I've been working on. So, just trying to get, and I don't know if I had showed you guys these, or I think I was working on some of these. So, years back, we managed to go to the San Diego Zoo. And so I had a boatload of pages that I had, or photos that I had taken back then of the San Diego Zoo. And you know how you throw them in a box and you're like, oh yeah, I'll get to that one day kind of thing, like we do with any and all of our other craft stuff. And so I finally cleaned out that box that I had tossed all of the pages in that really needed to have just scrapbook pages done. So I don't have all of the pages done, but I have them all separated out, sorted, and so this was the pages for the San Diego Zoo, and so that was the map. And so I figured it would be fun, like if he shows his kids, it's like the map is folded in a quarter, and so when you open it up, you can see the map of the zoo. So these are, and I typically, I try to gather, there were so many pages that I tried to put them in like piles. So that was the tram. And then I typically, once I trim down the photo and get the extra stuff, because photos can have, you know, all the extra space on them for background, and I just cut some of that extra stuff out so that I can fit a lot of these photos on. So this is my brother-in-law. He is 20 years younger than my husband. 20 years, maybe 30 years younger than my husband. I think 20. I think he's 20 years younger than my husband. But we picked him up and took him with us. And so you can see, maybe how young my son was right there. He's in the gray right next to my brother-in-law. So yeah, these really needed to get done. So I laid them out. I have spaces for like stickers and things like that, or cutouts, punches, whatever I end up doing. This was the monkey, the gorillas, and then they both put their hands onto, there was a bronze gorilla, and so this was them putting their hands on the bronze gorilla. So I just laid out the pages, and I always frame my photos with paper under them. So you can see there's like a double layer. There's like a frame of this cream color, and then the background paper. And I just kind of did a double layer, and this is like a punch that I had right here where my finger is. And I always do that with my scrapbook pages. So I thought I'd show you kind of some of them. I finally got, and I'll move along. This one, I had some really cute zoo paper. So that one had lions all over it, and it's kind of hard to see with so I used some, Randy, please. She's over here chewing on her paw, and she's making all kinds of slurping noises. There was the panda, the polar bear. So I had a bunch of zoo paper that I thought was really, really cute. And so I worked on some of those and spent a little bit of time. Oh, and I have a gouge out of my thumb. Oh, I must have done that working on the shadow box. At least it's not bleeding all over the place. So I worked on that. And so now it's ready for my Cricut. So I have to spend a little bit of time on the Cricut. I usually just cut out like titles, San Diego Zoo, and then I put like the month and the year that we did an activity when I scrapbook. Here was the circus. So I had some really cute circus paper. I work really hard at trying to find, or if I'm doing an activity or an event. Hold on a second. Let me let the dog out. Because somebody's ringing the doorbell. Somebody's ringing the doorbell, and I have no idea who, and there's nobody here to answer the door but me. So it's not going to get answered right now. But so I was working on the zoo. There's the zoo pamphlet that I'll stick in some of the cute little papers. And if I'm at like an activity, I know like if you're at, and I'm sorry for the dog barks, hopefully they'll stop fairly soon. But like if you're at Disneyland, you can find craft paper, like scrapbook paper, to make the scrapbook. So I typically look for things like that if we go to an event, or if they don't have anything like in their gift shop, then I will look online for things like that. So Just got some really cute paper for some of the circus photos. And you see, I had some punches and things like that I punched out that came with this pack of circus stuff. So, you know, like these little tickets for, and they were like stickers, but they were paper punches with sticker on the back of them. So, I mean, just some cute little paper with the, so, there you go. I like that paper. But anyway, so I did that one, and then I finished up his, I'll set this one down, and the last one I finished up was his karate. So one of the things that my son was, because he was a little bit smaller than everybody else, because he was born 3 months early, 2 months early, sorry. He was born at 29 weeks. Yeah, so he was 2 months early, 29 weeks. So he was premature and weighed 1 pound, 12 ounces when he was born. And actually he was our miracle because, he was born with a subdural hematoma. His lungs were underdeveloped. He had 3 holes in his heart and ended up with a bloodborne infection, all kinds of things when he was a baby. But the Lord heard everybody's prayers, and the holes in his heart healed by themselves. His lungs matured, the subdural hematoma, because all of these things they were preparing to take him into surgery for as a baby, and he spent 2 months in the NICU. The Lord healed him. I mean, so it was amazing. He heard all of our prayers. We had people praying for us that I think we didn't even know praying for us at that point in time. And so he is our miracle baby, and our one and only baby. But all babies are miracles, but he was especially more of a miracle because God healed those. So he, one of the things that they recommended when he was younger, because he had therapy and he had to learn, was to be able to get some of that agility, is to go into karate. And it's great for self-discipline and all of those things. And so this was his brown belt. So he was getting his brown belt. And so he does have his black belt. He is a 1st degree black belt. To this day, he maintains his 1st degree black belt. He does not practice his karate any longer. But I managed to finish all of the karate stuff. I think I have all of his belts done, and there's a lot of belts in between the starting of a white belt to get to your black belt. And so there was lots of belts to record in the scrapbooking pages. So my goal is to work on getting some of those cuts done with because I just cut out craft paper and cut out the words and put them on the sheets, the crafting sheets, to kind of give a date and a year. That way he has that, and if he ever has kids, he can actually go through and show his kids those books. And I'm sure that'll be something that he'll have for a long time and treasure. But anyway, I need to do that, but I have so many pictures. I inherited all your mom's pictures. Oh yeah, as well as my own. Where to start? Yes. So I did a big sort. I did a big sort between when I was kind of cleaning out and reorganizing my craft room. I pulled that bin because I had a big, huge Rubbermaid bin. Not only that, but I could use the Rubbermaid bin for other things. So I pulled them out and I started sorting by groups first. My son's stuff, and then stuff that my husband and I did, maybe just outside of having my son with us, and things that were before my son. I put those all away. I don't know, to be honest, that I will ever decide to scrap anything do the scrapbooking stuff for anything that my husband and I did before our son, because we only have one son, so it doesn't mean anything to him. So the stuff that we've done as a family, a lot of that will end up in his scrapbooks, but I don't have any other children, so I think what I'm going to do is we'll look through them, and if there's 1 or 2 photos that we want to hang on to, then we might. But I have so many that I'm like, yeah, it's impossible. And even though we've done the activity as being my husband and I mean, we don't have space to hold albums. We've changed out pictures, so we have some vacation pictures that we've taken. We've changed them out in the photo frames, but it's just like, yeah, other than putting them, and I don't even think I'm going to go to the trouble of putting them on like a digital frame or anything. We have a digital frame, but I mean, it's almost, yeah, I mean, what do you do with all those photos? You enjoy them for a little bit of time, and yeah, so I don't know. I still have a bunch. Trust me, I have a bunch. I have 2 boxes full. 2 photo boxes full. Let me be clear. Not like big cardboard boxes. What I've done is, if you've seen a photo box, so they're about this size. But they're cardboard. They're photo boxes, and they're this size, and you set the pictures in here. This is just flash drives that have photos on them that I need to go and search on to find for my son. But anyway, so I think that's all I am going to do today. I didn't pull out anything else to craft with at this point, but I think what I might do is work on some of those those scrapbook pages and get them done, and go see who was at my front door, if I can figure that out. And I'll keep an eye out. I'll keep an eye out, and probably next week, I'm going to try to, as much as I can, support the craft events by Julie. There's an event on Monday, and I'll try to support that as much as I can, and maybe try to go live next week. So with a craft. But I've got to reorganize a little bit like everybody else, getting the year started off right by reorganizing and figuring out what those crafts might be. I did pull out, I have some of this fabric. So I've not done anything with sewing yet. So I'm thinking maybe I'll do some fabric hearts or something. Because I figured out that I have the ability with my scroll saw, I can cut pieces of wood out and make little boxes. So I'm going to make a wooden box and maybe make some hearts out of some fabric and put them in the little box. So I don't know, but that's what I'm just thinking about. But I haven't done any sewing yet on live, so we'll see. Maybe I'll whip out the sewing machine and we'll sew together a little bit. But anyway, I want to, does anybody, I know, I've got Is there any other prayer requests? I know I have Marianne Brundle's prayer request, so I will do that. Is there anybody else that needs any prayer requests? If not, we'll close in prayer. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody else. Okay. If you have a prayer request, you can go ahead and send it over. Even if I don't pray for you right now, I will pray. I will pray for you, because I keep a list of prayer requests, and I continue to pray for each of those until I kind of know what the end result is, or know that there has been a solution that has been provided by God. So anyway, your back and your legs have been hurting. Oh man, girl, you've been doing a lot of standing too, haven't you? Because I saw on your live, I popped in for a minute, but then, because I know you were working in it looks like you kind of rearranged your craft room a little bit, or at least your angle of your camera. So I will pray for your back and your legs. So we will ask for some divine healing there. All right, so let's pray. Oh, dear Lord, we give you praise and thanks for just being you and being the Father, the Abba Father that you are, Lord, that we can come to you and we can thank you for just having a little bit of crafting community together, having that time, because that time is valuable, Lord. And we just appreciate that you give us the ability, the skill, and the money to be able to financially support our habits in this crafting community, Lord. And we just want to thank you for your grace on our lives, Lord. You've sacrificed so much, Lord, and we just ask that you lift up our friend Marianne Brundle. Marianne needs your healing hands. She needs your words of wisdom and your words of knowledge, Lord, to help her make decisions. She's going through some struggles. If they're health struggles, Lord, we just ask that you lay your healing hands on her, both hands, Lord, as she could use a touch of you in her life right now, Lord. And then we ask that you lift up her neighbor. They lost a family member. Their daughter's husband was lost in a car accident due to a drunk driver, Lord. And we just ask that you lift up that family, as it's never easy to lose a loved one. And we just ask that you surround that entire family and show them that you are there with them, even in times of difficult. You are able to take those difficult times and turn them for the better, Lord. And if you can just show yourself and show them that love, grace, and the gift of you, Lord, we just ask that for that family, Lord. And we ask some divine healing for Julie, our friend Julie, as she is struggling with some legs and back pain, Lord. And it's hard to do what we do and be dealing with such pain. So we just ask that you remove the pain and you heal whatever is causing that pain in her back and her legs, Lord, and that you just make that pain disappear, poof, in a moment's just that. And she is yours, Lord, and she will recognize that it is you. And we just ask that you bind up any of the evil's doings with any and all of these families, Lord. We bind all of that up in the name of Jesus Christ, and we loose upon them your love and your grace and your divine healing. In your name we pray. Amen. Thank you guys. I appreciate it so much. Oh, wonderful. Thank you. I want to wish everybody a wonderful afternoon if you're out in the Northwest like I am, Mountain Time Zone, and a wonderful evening as evening approaches in the Central and Eastern Time Zones. But I wish you guys all a wonderful afternoon and evening, and I just want to say God bless. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Bye.